Hi everyone, I'm Andy Wild. I'm the Product Manager for Cloud Services at GCI. In this short podcast, I'm going to give you a simplified overview of Microsoft's Enterprise Mobility and Security Service, known as EM&S. This podcast is one of a set of digital downloads, and in this one I'm going to focus on how Enterprise Mobility and Security will help organisations address the risks and potentially severe financial penalties associated with the new General Data Protection Regulations, GDPR, due to go into force on 25th of May 2018. In a nutshell, GDPR is designed to give back control to individuals of their personal data. From May 2018, any organisation storing, sharing and using personal customer data must adhere to this new legislation. To add perspective, the financial penalty that Tesco Bank would have faced following their hacking in November 2016 would have been £1.9 billion under this new legislation. With so much data held in the cloud and moving through enterprise, partner and customer networks, it is now much harder to implement systems to identify, protect and erase personal information. So how can EM&S help? I'm going to look at 3 key points. What is it? What are the headline benefits? And why businesses should consider it now? And following that, I'll wrap up with a few real-life examples of how EM&S will help you tackle the challenges of GDPR. So what is it? Enterprise Mobility and Security, EM&S, helps classify and label documents and data at the time of creation. Following this, encryption, authentication and user rights can then be applied. The key point here is that protection is persistent and it travels with the data so that it is identifiable and protected at all times, regardless of where it is stored or with whom it is shared. An additional key benefit is that users can track activity on shared files and revoke access if they encounter unexpected activities. It also provides rich logs for compliance and regulatory purposes. So what are the headline benefits? Data can be classified and labelled automatically or manually. It provides an assurance that data and documents are fully protected. Standardised sensitivity labels and rules can also be customised. Protection, including encryption, can be applied after this classification. Documents can be tracked to show who has opened them and when. And users can choose to revoke access to data or documents at any time. So why should businesses consider it now? Well, that's back to the compelling event, which is the introduction of new GDPR legislation in May 2018. Well, that might seem a long way away. In technological implementation timescales, it's barely a heartbeat. So now let's wrap up with some real-life examples of how EM&S can help with GDPR compliance. First, let's imagine that one of your field sales staff uses his own device to send a quote to a customer, and that the quote contains sensitive financial information that might, for example, be really useful to a competitor. If the customer does not order, the salesperson can simply revoke access to the document to protect their pricing model. Here's another. Let's imagine that a business suspects that sensitive corporate data is being leaked to a competitor. EM&S policies can block a user from copying text from a corporate email account to a personal email or even forward it on to prevent such compromises. And finally, let's imagine that an order process requires a credit card number to be logged in a Microsoft Word form or a spreadsheet. EM&S automatically recognises that the document contains a credit card number and applies policies so that the document cannot be opened or sent outside the organisation or saved on a local drive. These are just 3 examples of 20 available as a download from our website. Finally, just to let you know, we'll be also running technology workshops, webinars and exhibiting at a number of shows this year. If you'd like to find out more about these activities, please just give us a call. I hope you found this podcast helpful and many thanks for your time.